Who time is it? And I'm going to start out with a scripture, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Now, Christmas history. Christmas Day. Now, it came from the word Christmas. Christmas was born on December 25th, 336 AD. Now, before that time, they didn't have a date for Jesus' birth. It wasn't really celebrating back then, and so they celebrated Jesus' resurrection, and they celebrated his baptism more than they did his birthday. Celebrated his baptism on around January the 6th. Now, why is Christmas celebrated? Because they wanted to give his birth, wanted to celebrate his birth. And cultures all around the world and in the Mediterranean and across Europe observed feasts on or around December the 25th, marking the winter solstice. The Jews in a festival of light. The Germans had a Euro festival, so everybody celebrated something around that date. And the and the Christians and the believers didn't have nothing, so they wanted to celebrate something because it seemed like everybody else was having fun, and they was really um, celebrating. They was the Romans who had a festival, and they gave gifts to the poor and was drinking and connected with these paganist fests. And they was Moses went to the mount. They knew God's power. They seen him raise the Red Sea, but when Moses went up to the mountain and he was up there for a long, they decided they wanted to make their own God. They wanted to make images. They wanted to worship something. So they wanted to have a party. And so they just forgot. And because these people knew um, about God, but they wanted to do it their way. And so the true Christians wanted to celebrate God's birthday. Not if you look in the History Channel, they tell you about the sun god that they was trying to SUN. They was celebrating, and so the Christians wanted to celebrate the SON, the birth of SON, and so it started, and then so in the 16th century, Christmas tradition spread to all branches of Protestants during the Protestant Reformation. And so it started spreading in different countries, and then in North America, Massachusetts banned the colonials, banned Christmas with violation where subject to fine. So they banned Christmas in in America because it had so much of that negativity intertwined because they put it on the same day as they had all of the paganist stuff going on. And so, God said if you're lukewarm, he'll spew you out of his mouth. So, true Christians didn't want to have nothing to do with it because it had too much of that other stuff, They were doing like Mardi Gras and all that stuff, and they didn't want to deal with that. And so they had banned Christmas. And like I tell people, I thought about when the Israelites wanted a king. See, God said He gives you um, acceptable will, His perfect will, and a good will. And so He didn't want the Israelites to have a king, but because they wanted it, He allowed it to go forth. And I tell people, God, when God allowed it, He didn't say it was a bad. He didn't want them to have it, but He blessed the kings. He blessed them and their families. So God let us have what we want. So we wanted to have a birthday for Him, and He said, "Okay, I'll let y'all have a birthday." Because I know the Bible don't say nothing about Christmas. Only holiday is in the Bible. It's the Passover, where He said, "As often as you do this in remembrance of me." But he accepted them celebrating His day, so He don't want you to forget why you wanted that day. They wanted that day to celebrate God's birth. But it's just because of what day they put it on. They put it on the day where people was doing negativity and doing stuff that wasn't right. And so in the Baptist church in Newport and the island observed Christmas for the first time. This was about 130 years after the founding of the first Baptist church in New England. Okay, and then in 1836, Alabama became the first U.S. state to legalize Christmas. And so the United States didn't even have Christmas for a long time because it was banned. And so that's the reason why we having so much trouble, because they trying to take Christmas back where it had festivals and everybody just did their own thing because of the date they put it on. But Christmas supposed to have been its own separate entity. And then in 1907, Oklahoma became the last U.S. state to legalize Christmas. And so, and then in 1927, was shocking. The Jehovah's Witness, they banned Christmas from being celebrated after learning of the paganist origin. See, so everybody used to celebrate Christmas, but the Jehovah's Witness say, it's too much of that stuff that's intertwined with the world, and we don't want to have nothing to do with it. But like I said in the beginning, because people wanted to celebrate God's day, God allowed it, and that wasn't ordained by God, but just because God gives you the desires of your heart, but you gotta remember why you're doing it. And so, the 21st century now, we had all the political and people trying to take it back to where it was at in the beginning when it first started. Now, it wasn't started with the other things. It's just the other things ended up into Christmas because of that date, the date they had put it on. And so what done happened is we done lost focus. You see, that's what we done lost focus. We done lost focus of what we really celebrating Christmas for. We done lost what the date was supposed to really mean. And that starts with my title today, which is, who time is it? Is it his or is it yours? Is it a time for him to do what he's supposed to do in your life, or is it your time to just get gifts and eat and see what you're going to get and all that? Who time is it? It's his time. Time for you to give him gifts. Now, a lot of people say, oh, here you go with these gifts. Most churches try to say, well, you give God a gift and you give him some money and give him a present on that day. First of all, God give us stewards over money. So I don't manipulate people with saying that just because I want to get a collection plate. But the gifts that I'm talking about God won't, and these are the gifts that I know God won't. You really want to give God something? This is what you give God. You win souls. You get people out out of the muck. You get people out of the devil's way and win souls for God. Because when you win souls for God, that's what makes God pleased. Because he says in this scripture right here, Proverbs 11:30, winning souls. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. See, so when you win souls, you're wise because you storing up just not only your gift in heaven, but you are helping build God's kingdom. You know, and you're not selfish because you try to do it for a reason. And so if you go here, it says Luke 15:4. It says, "What would a man of you have 100 sheep if he lose one of them? Does he not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the which is lost until he find it? And when he had found it, he laid it on his shoulder, rejoicing." And see, this is right here saying, them 99 that you got that's maybe saved, but God want one. God want that one that ain't. God wants you to go after that one that maybe done lost his way, done got church hurt, done got Mandela hurt, done got confused and misused. And so I wasn't gonna put this under the Mandela effect, but this message needs to go out to everybody. Because this is the purpose of what we're here for. We're here to wake people up. We're here to help people know that we can't be ignorant of the devil's devices. And Luke 15 said that when he had came home, he called together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, "Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost." See, we gotta get them people that mind is twisted, that people that don't know their way, or just followed after of tradition. You know, we got to remember what the days are for. We got to remember why that they wanted to celebrate God's birthday, not for all this other stuff. So, if y'all like this and want me to do more subjects like this, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all next time. Merry Christmas.